Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I have a brand new Fire TV Stick 4K version here with Amazon's voice assistant remote on board. Now, we're going to get it unboxed, set up in our home, and I'm going to show you how you use most of the functions that you're going to want to use here today. So this is the Fire TV Stick. This is the 4K version, and it does have the Amazon Voice Assistant remote within it. Now, the new versions of the standard Fire TV Stick will have that remote in it as well nowadays. So all you have to do is rip off the tape right here and get right into the box. Inside of the box, you're starting with a power adapter that is 100 to 240 volts capable right there. You start with a couple of manuals to tell you what to do, but that's why you're watching this video right here, and a USB power cable right there for you. So this is going to obviously connect in right here. From there, you have the Amazon Fire remote. This is the component that will control, and of course with the voice assistant on board, it's a very lightweight and, well, probably easy to lose remote, to be honest. Now, last but not least, here is the actual Amazon Fire Stick, and you are getting another adapter right here to give you the ability to actually take that off of your TV physically. So it's allowing you to move a little bit, give you a little flexibility if you do need to reach in somewhere. So a nice little adapter there that Amazon includes. So all told, as you connect the entire thing here, you can see there's the USB adapter. So there you go. That's the entire setup process. Obviously, you have these two batteries as well for your remote. Oh, okay. So one of the hardest things I had to do was actually get that remote open. What's a little bit tricky is this little piece right here. So you can see they give you a little divot right here to basically push down on as you pull down in the remote. Well, unfortunately, it's exactly opposite to the actual middle enter button here on your remote. So it becomes a little bit tricky to get that opened up. Nothing insurmountable, but it did take some doing. So now I've gone ahead and I've got this in, and really we just need to plug this into the wall now and plug this into a TV, and we're ready to go. So now I just go around back to my TV. That's where my HDMI ports are, and you can see I've plugged in the device. You could obviously plug it in directly without that little cable attachment, but I kind of like it sitting there. Then you can see the micro USB going down to a power adapter. You could plug that into a powered USB port on your TV if you wanted. And once you go to the HDMI signal or input on your TV, you can see it's searching for your remote. Now all I have to do is power it on, and then it instantly finds it. So I was within a few meters and it found it, and then all it's asking to do is hit the play button, choose my language, and now it's scanning for Wi-Fi networks, and it did find both the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks that I have in my home, and I can go ahead and choose one. Now if you choose your 5 gig, I think you're going to have a little bit better opportunity to stream at 4K. Obviously 2.4 networks are going to be very busy, but that's up to you to kind of decide here. Once you do that, it goes through a little update process. Now we're going to have to sign in with our Amazon account, and you just go ahead and put in those two things, and then it registers your Fire TV. None of this is being done on the Amazon application there for their voice assistant. Now it does let you save your Wi-Fi password if you'd like, and you can enable parental controls as well. It gives you a bit of a strange PIN process here. I don't really love the way you have to navigate that, but you can set up a 5-digit PIN, and it has to be 5 digits. From there, they do a little test where you can actually see if the remote will work with your TV. Basically, it's automatically sensing your TV and then giving you the ability to control your volume. And then here comes your little demo video from Amazon.
Welcome to your new Fire TV Stick 4K. Fire TV Stick 4K connects you to a world of entertainment.
From there, they give you the standard join Prime if you don't already have that on your account. My Prime actually had just expired, so this was a bit interesting for me. So I could choose my streaming services after that, and I go ahead and I choose a number of the applications. Your list will be different if you're in the US or a different country, but here in Canada, this is the base list that they gave me, and then you're basically ready to use the device. Now you can see the menu up in the top, and we're going to go through some of the settings next, and then we'll talk about the different services and capabilities of the device. So again, at the top, just scrolling over all the way to the right, we're going to go into settings, and here's where you get a number of different things that you can adjust. Of course, you can go into the Amazon voice assistant application on your phone as well to adjust some things, but here's your notifications. You'll get those as you go, and if you wanted to change your Wi-Fi network, here's that capability as well. Display and sound, so this is different display components. You can actually turn on the ability to use your Amazon photo storage as the background as well within that. Then there's the different application settings, and there is a couple of browsers on here. You can see Silk browser, and there's also some games on here that you can play, which I'll show you in a bit. And then you can also manage the different applications, so you can remove ones that you have installed as well. Equipment control, this is your TV, and then the Fire TV as well. Within there, you can set what input will turn on your TV, as well as some of the infrared controls or basic controls for your TV. Now, on top of that, you have a controller and Bluetooth devices section. So this allows you to add additional Fire TV remotes. You can add game controllers and Bluetooth devices like keyboards and mice that will further enhance how this actually works. Of course, you can see a little information about the voice assistant application, but there's not actually any settings in there. And then there's the preferences section, which has a ton of different sections or segments to it, including parental controls and privacy controls, things like that. You can also set your location in here, but this isn't a full location, and you'll want to do that in Amazon's application on your phone or tablet. The accessibility section also gives you access to subtitles, magnification, and some high contrast capability. There's also a My Account section, and you can sync Amazon content, but this brings us to the application where once you've set up your device, you will get that notification, and then you can go directly into the application. If you don't already have it on iOS or Android, you'll need to get it and then log in with the same account. Now, I'm in the devices screen, which is bottom right in the application. That's what you tap on. And then I go into the Echo and the voice assistant devices, and I can scroll down and find my Fire TV. Now, it took on the name of just my name and then Fire TV, and that's what it's going to take on for you from the initial setup. In the Fire TV device itself, you could also adjust the location. This is where you can come to do your location. Within here, I can add that Fire TV to groups if I'd like. So you just hit that plus up in the top right, and it brings you to the setup process for a group, and you go ahead and you search through and you'll have to search all the way down at the bottom, but it's added this second device called TV. So it's not called Brian's Fire TV, it's called TV, and that's the connection to your physical TV. So that's what it did as part of the setup process where we could adjust the volume. It actually added that device. So that's what you can add. You can't actually add the Fire TV to a group. You can add this device just called TV, and you could, of course, modify that name and change some of the components to it. Now, finally, the big question I think a lot of people will have is, can I add a Fire TV to a multi-room audio group? The quick answer is no. You can go ahead and try, but it does not show up. Neither does your TV. And what I'll also tell you is that voice control from the speakers is a little bit difficult, or from an Echo device, it's a little bit difficult. But we'll address that later in the video. Now, moving on, let's show you some of the capabilities for video and music. So here's Netflix. You can see that I can download it, or I can start a download as soon as I've clicked with my remote. I'm using the voice assistant remote here, so I can just click download and it queues it, and then it starts that download process. Once it's downloaded, I can go in, enter in my username and password as you would expect, and it will allow me to utilize Netflix from that point forward. I can start it, and it will start in the best available resolution for me. And of course, Netflix has settings and things that you can adjust for resolution capabilities. Now, on top of that, you can request through your voice remote to do different things. So you can actually jump ahead utilizing your voice remote. You can pause, you can stop, you could skip to the next episode if you'd like. There's all kinds of great functionality through the remote, and I really loved using the remote. Now, there is a YouTube application, but what that actually does is refer you to one of the two onboard browsers. There's Amazon Silk and there's Firefox, and they say you can block ads, but it doesn't block ads. But you can utilize YouTube in this way. You just have to use one of the two browsers. You can also go directly to any website you'd like just by simply typing in the name, and you can use your voice remote to input things as well. So not just from clicking around that keyboard, you can actually speak to it and say the URL or address of what you'd like to go to. You can also use that remote to navigate around the browser, so it's very seamless, it's very good, and you can see where I used my voice to actually search for my own channel name. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because it doesn't actually search the web, it searches its content on Amazon Prime services. Then you can go into one of the two browsers, and then it will do the search for you, utilizing Bing search if you're using their Silk browser, or you can have it utilize Firefox as well. So this allowed me in a number of different ways to get to YouTube and to get to different things all over the web. Overall, I would say the browser was pretty good, and the navigation was good as well. Now, there's also the games, so you can go up to apps in the top menu and you can download games. What I'll say is you probably want a controller to connect to the device because it was a little hard with the remote. Now, moving on to radio and music, you could request things through the remote and it seemed to work very well. So that Amazon Voice Assistant remote did a great job of bringing me into different applications. I could specify whether I wanted to just use the base service or tune in, and when I did that, it played the right radio station on the right service. On top of that, Amazon Music opened up. When I asked it to play music, I didn't have to specify anything there. Of course, if you downloaded other apps like Spotify, you would have to state that you wanted to play on Spotify. There are tons of other applications that you can access on here. Everything from the NHL to weather to movies and different services like Crave. I was actually overwhelmed by how much content I had access to. Now, what I'll show you next is trying to utilize an Amazon Echo. So you can see my little Echo to the right actually responding to my questions and queries. And, I struggled utilizing an Echo. I did get some responses, but you can see how it's searching Prime Video again. In general, I couldn't get music to play through an Echo. I really struggled with that. I could only get it to play through the remote. So there are some struggles, and I really think that the remote is a very powerful component. It allows you to do a lot more in a much easier way.
Exit.
Alright guys, now there's a ton to love about the Fire TV Stick, especially the 4K version. Of course, I'm going to bring you a number of different videos about this product, how to do different things with it as we go here on the channel. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.